Now, you were actually part of the NFL lawsuit?
Yes.
Was that the concussion?
No.
No, it was the painkiller
medical
lawsuit. You know, I've heard, but I don't remember who said it, but a coach or an assistant coach recently came out and said that human beings should not play football.
Yeah, that was the general manager of the Buffalo Bills.
There you go.
Who tried to retract it the day after.
Well, he still said it?
Yeah, he still said it. He knew what he meant.
You have kids?
Yes.
Would you be okay with your kids playing football?
My statement is I'm going to encourage. No, let me say it the right way. Well, one, I got an older daughter, so she better not play. Lord, stay away from mama. I won't encourage my son, but I will support him. So that means, you know, right now you run around the house. I'm not saying this is a football and you're going to love this. I'm looking at him like, here's a tennis racket and this is pretty sweet, right? And here's a basketball, learn to dribble, daddy can't. And that kind of stuff, because the reason I say it is I remember the random Wednesday. Let's say October 27th, random year, sophomore year of high school. And you know what I did on that Wednesday? I don't know what you did. You may have went home. You may have played on your bike with your friends. You may have played Nintendo, ColecoVision. You may have just called a girl up and said, hey, how's it going? I know what I was doing. Ramming heads 60 times a day on a random Wednesday, my sophomore year. I had different incentives. I had to do that, I felt in my mind. I had a cape on my back. We had to fly out the hood on my back, my talents. My son is not in that predicament. He's not in that situation. So I will support him, but I won't encourage him. And I also know that football is a game of not just skill, but will. It takes so much to make it in the NFL. Forget how big you are, how strong you are, how fast you are. Are you kidding me? Walk down Crenshaw, you're going to see that. What you're not going to see is somebody who wants to go all the way in there and down there to make sure that they stay on the field. And it's a tough place, man. It's a tough place. And with those rigors, if you're not going to pay it off and do it all, do you really want to start that process? So we're going to have a very mature conversation if and when that time comes, and we'll just take it from there.
I mean, just from a biological standpoint, you know, like I recently saw that Will Smith movie about the concussions. The human brain is not designed to be beaten by the skull. Like, you know, they had this kind of cool comparison with a woodpecker's tongue, and it actually wraps around the brain to protect it against the concussions, beating its head against something. The human brain does not. I mean, have you had friends who suffered from all the damage they took during their football careers in terms of mentally?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct in terms of the damage. I had a few concussions, none that I remember. That's funny. None that I remember from the NFL, but dingers, of course, like times where you're blacked out real quick, like, oh God, I can't see. Jamie Nails, oh, I got to hit you again. You weigh 420 pounds, but let's do it. But in college, I got knocked out twice. I do remember those moments. I lost a teammate, a friend, Junior Seau, to CTE.
Okay, so you knew him?
Some say, yeah.
That was your teammate?
That was my teammate, yeah.
That was like the big one. Junior passed. Did he donate his body to science specifically for this?
Yep. Yeah, and some say that the reason he shot himself in the heart, not in the brain, is to preserve his brain.
Preserve his brain?
And I had seen him, I would say 4 months, maybe 3 months before that, in San Diego, his restaurant event, went to his Hall of Ring of Honor ceremony, and you didn't really see it coming.
Really?
I've heard so many accounts, so many people, so many teammates, so many friends, family. We've all talked through it. I would say the last time I saw him, it was the first time I was like, I didn't even think is everything okay. I was just like, that wasn't normal Junior. Like, the 100-watt light bulb was at 90, 80. But still, nothing to be like, hey, man, what's up? What's wrong? But obviously, it was darker moments for him and those really close to him in those last moments. Yeah, I saw it. And I've seen Junior do it all on the football field. I mean, throw his body to the wind for the sake of a victory. And, you know, when you see that, it humbles you. It puts things in perspective. It encourages me to tell my son the hard truths, the real truths. And I'm not going to be political ever about my answers with this. You make your decision, but I know my decision will be weighed heavily based on my experiences.
Right. How do you feel about how the NFL initially denied any of this was true?
Oh, man, the NFL is They lying. They know they're lying. Duh. Like, what they're lying, well, like most people lie for advantageous reasons and to protect your interests. It's north of $15 billion right now the NFL makes as an industry. Are you kidding me? They're protecting that. And guess what they do to protect it? Just like the tobacco industry.
Right.
It's parallel. They're going to make sure that they have elastic language, as they say. Talk out of both sides of your mouth. Make sure you feel comfortable, soccer mom, football mom, and make sure you feel comfortable, football player, but also we're doing as much as we can to help. But no one's being fooled by it now, and I'm glad the awareness is at an all-time high. I never want to say shut down football. I never want to say stop the game.
Do you think that'll ever happen, though?
No.
Do you think they'll ever shut down football?
Never.
I mean, even if the scientific evidence shows that it really hurts people?
The demand is too great.
What do you think about the whole situation?
Man, my point of view, man, I really feel like they tried to paint a bad picture on my brother and try to make him look like he was a hater. It was some envy, jealousy type shit, you know what I'm saying? And actuality, you know what I'm saying? Bro been having this shit, man. He been in the condo.
I got my hat on and I had my Coke bottles up under my hat. And I'm sitting at the dinner table like an asshole with the hat on, knowing she gonna tell me to take it off. And I'm just sitting there just gulping down, you know, in my zone. She said, take that goddamn hat off at the dinner table. I'm like, come on, Mom. Coke everywhere.